Welcome to Best US channel. In this video, we'll look at the recent regulation that was published today regarding H1B visa stamping pilot program to get stamping within the USA. So we'll look at the criteria, the dates, process, and other common FAQs. So this is what we'll cover in this video. We'll look at the background, whole list of 9 things that we'll cover today. In terms of the news, right, this is what actually was published in the Federal Register today. If you go to the link that we put in the description, you can check this. This is the regulation that was published. It has all the details on how the whole thing will work. Now, just to give you a background, if you are looking at this for the first time, the H1B visa stamping within the US was there up until mid 2004 for various visa categories like H, L, O, C and other visa categories, but it was discontinued in June due to new requirements that came in, and there was no option to get biometrics during that time. So I mean, there have been a lot of discussions since then. Eventually, most recently, after several discussions in October, there was an official rule that was published in the federal to OMB for review, and then they approved it on December 15th, and now finally today they published in the Federal Register. Now, in terms of how this will work, there is a set of 12 eligibility criteria that anyone need to meet to apply for this H1B stamping within the US pilot program. So the first thing and foremost thing is it's only for renewals. And second thing is, for your H1B stamping should be either done in Canada or India, and there's all specific dates for you to do that. So if you were to get stamping in Canada, it should have been done between January 1st and 2020 through April 1st 2023, and if it was done in India, it should be between February 1st 2021 through September 30th 2021. The third one is, you should not subject to reciprocity fee, basically where you need to pay, they'll do a refund and all of that, right? And you should be eligible for entry waiver or dropbox. This is a basic requirement. And in terms of biometrics, you should have given it in the past. Also, you should not have this annotation called clearance received in your visa. So this is also something, that's very important, because if you have this, then you won't be eligible. Also, in addition to that, you should not have anything on your application that says you need to get a waiver to get the stamping. So if you have such conditions, then you can't be eligible for this. Also, you should have an approved H1B petition from USCIS. Basically, it's a pretty standard document, nothing fancy here, right? But you need to have that approved. Second thing is also, you should be admitted into US on H1B visa status, meaning you should have entered US on H1B visa status. And also you need to maintain that H1B visa status all this time, right? So that's an important thing as well. And also what they say is the period of authorized admission should not have expired. Basically, the identifier shouldn't have expired. That's what they mean by that, right? And they say that you also need to have intention to re-enter to US on H1B visa. So these are all the most important requirements, and you should meet all the 12 criteria to be able to apply for this H1B stamping pilot program. Now, in terms of dates, how it will work, it will start on January 29, 2024, which is still about a month away, right? And what they say is they will weekly open up about 4,000 slots. And of that, 2,000 is for applicants who had stamping within Canada, and 2,000 is for somebody who have done in India. In terms of how the whole thing will work, they have given a set of dates where starting from January 29, the second one will be February 5th, and then 12th, 19th, and 26th. So essentially, they're giving 5 dates where they will keep opening 5,000 during those dates, and then you can start filling those details. So the idea is, if let's say they release on January 29th and everything is get exhausted on day 1 itself, then there is be nothing available till February 5th. So basically, it's 4,000 per week or whichever that gets completed. And the whole idea is the program will end when you hit the 20,000 slots or April 1st, whichever comes first. Now, in terms of where to apply for this, so they have given a URL where it's a US Department of State website, state.gov, and there's a URL. We'll put the article that has all these links and all, right? So currently, if you go there, this is how you see it. They'll say that once you have closer to the thing, then we'll see all these details. So for now, we don't have information in there, right? So now, in terms of processing, right, so the steps are very simple, right? So you will have an online system where you'll do self-assessment first, and then if you qualify, then they will give all the details and where to send documents and all of that, how much fees and all of that. So post that, once you say you're qualified, you submit a DS-160 form, then pay the MRV fee, and then get instructions on how to send all of that, right? So this is part of the second step. Now, in terms of once you send this application package, right, after completing all this DS-160 and all of that, they do initial screening, and in the package, and then if it falls into the pilot program scope, then they will actually send it to next steps. If not, they'll basically send back and there'll be no refund. So let's say you meet that initial criteria and everything is in the scope, then they will send it to a place where authorized State Department people will work on that. So that's where it will be sent for processing. Now in terms of processing, right, once it goes there, it can take anywhere from 6 to 8 weeks, and there is no way you can expedite it. Let's say you have an emergency and you need to withdraw, then you can withdraw this during for any of your travel, but you will be given a 221G, which is administrative processing, and then you need to take care of that later when you apply for stamping outside of the country. And let's say once the processing is done and if you get a issued visa, then you will be sent the passport along with the visa, using commercial courier. So it's a pretty standard process. Now in terms of document checklist, right? So you need to send in DS-160 form. You need to fill out the DS-160 and send that copy, right? And then they say one passport photo, and you need to have a passport that's valid for 6 months. And also you need to send the copy of the approval notice, original copy of the approval notice, and also the original copy of the I-94 from the CBP website. Basically this is the one that you need to send. In terms of that, also application fees you need to pay 205. This will be done as part of the processing that you do. So this is a standard application checklist, nothing fancy here, very very basic documents that they typically collect. So also in the passport you need to have one empty page with a space. You can't send something that doesn't have space, a page for to glue the stamping. Now let's say you have some issues and you didn't send some documents, then you'll be given a 221G where you can submit the documents. So the requirement there is you only have date until April 15th. If you send before that, they'll reconsider and then they can issue the visa. And so why they would some of the common issues are let's say the photo is not matching, or let's say there are some missing documents, or there is 160 issues and they ask you to proof of stay and things like that, right? So eventually the program is planned to be concluded by May 1st. So that's the whole idea. Now let's say if your visa is not issued under this pilot program, then they'll issue something called a 221G under INA Act, right? It's basically a administrative processing letter, and after that they won't transfer your case to any other overseas consulates. You will have to then apply for a new application and then do the standard in-person application process. So this is what you need to do. You again pay the fees and everything. So also in terms of additional guidance, you don't need to submit any evidence of residence unless they ask you the initial application, right? And again, the participation in this program is basically voluntary for you. There is nothing that's forcing you that you need to do this program, right? And if you apply properly, meeting all the requirements, without providing proper requirements, there won't be any fee refunds. This is very important. They've really clarified that there will not be any refunds. And in terms of, let's say, this is the overall the way the whole thing will work. Let's say you get, you want to submit some feedback. You have until April 15th of 2024. You can submit to regulations.gov under all of these, if you have any feedback on all of that. So this is the overall program, how it will work. So we'll put a link in the description how this whole thing will work, and a much more detailed article. You can look at that and then take it from there. Again, thank you for watching. Do subscribe for getting regular updates. Sorry, my voice is not clear today. I had a bad cold, so hope it's okay. Thank you again for watching.